About proper use of a walker. So the big thing with walkers is there's always a tendency, especially if you've been using them for a while, to start to kind of like lean on it and collapse, you know, like even here, and let it get out in front of you. That's not good either. So, you know, people start to treat them like they put a shopping cart. You see this a lot in the supermarkets and grocery stores, where people are just kind of leaning on the shopping cart, walking like this. So that's basically just like the equivalent of like being in a lazy boy. You're not using your muscles, you're just collapsing, which is not good when you're on your feet, actually. It's not that great when you're in a lazy boy, but at least you're pretty well supported by the seat. But when you're walking, that you're untraining your balance when you do that. You're training yourself to be relaxed when your muscles should be more tense and active to support you, and you're decreasing your coordination and your control. So just imagine if that walker just suddenly disappeared. You want to think like, well, if that just all of a sudden just poof disappeared, would I fall down? Right now, the answer would be yes for me, because I'm just totally leaning on this thing. So even though you may need it for support, you want to be somewhat inside the walker, right? Maybe not up to the front, but just you want your feet kind of being inside of that thing, okay? And you want your chest over your feet. So maybe my chest is, I don't know, like 4 inches or so off the front of this towards me, somewhere around there. You want to make sure the height is proper, so it's to the styloid process here in your wrist. Depending on how long your arms are, you could also use the greater trochanter to the bony prominence here. So this is actually pretty good for me. So when you walk, you want a slight bend in the elbow like so that you can leverage almost like a press, okay? You don't want to be locked out, and you don't want to be too collapsed where you don't have leverage or control, okay? So then the other thing is, when you walk, make sure you get your foot under you, get your weight over your foot, and be able to shift, lift, and hold yourself up. You can use your arms, because the walker is solid, to press up just like you might to help yourself out of a chair. But just like in that situation, the arms are really mostly to steady you and to keep your weight forward over your foot. The leg is always the thing that's gonna be doing most of the work here, unless you are, you know, ordered to not put any weight on the foot, or like toe touch or something, in which case you're gonna have to use it almost like crutches, right? But other than that, if your weight bearing is tolerated, you wanna make sure you can put as much weight as you can in that leg, as much weight as you can tolerate, as that saying goes. You wanna make sure you get the weight over, stabilize leverage, and be able to lift up with the arms being in minimal use, just as much as I need, no more. I don't wanna overload my neck and shoulders here. And I certainly don't want to be collapsing where I'm compromising my balance. So if that walker was gone, I'd fall on my face, right? Don't want that.